Bishops and knights are both worth 3 points. So which one of these pieces is regarded as a better piece? Well, let's find out. First, let's talk about the knight. If we put the knight on the center of the board, we can see that the knight is covering 8 squares, which means that it would take around 4 moves for the knight to cover the entire board, which means that the knight is really good in the middle game, where there are a lot of pieces just close together, and also we have to remember that horses can jump, so the knight is really good at avoiding any obstacles in the way, and it can just jump over any pawn walls, any obstacles to get to the enemy. But in the end game though, the story is different. Let's talk about bishops. If we put the bishop on the center of the board, we can see that the bishop is covering 14 squares, which means that the bishop is able to cover the entire board in just one move, which makes the bishop really good in the endgames, where there's not a lot of pieces and the position is kind of empty. And in the endgames are where bishops are considered better than the knights. Well, for example, you can look at this position where the bishop on g7 is looking at a pawn on c3. Now, if the pawn moves, then the pawn on b2 is going to be in big trouble, and there's also chances of promotion. So this is why bishop is really important in the endgames, and this is why top-rated grandmasters always tell you to keep all of your bishops in the game and not to trade your bishops at the start of the game. And also, AlphaZero, a chessbot, evaluates bishops to be 10% better than knights. So yeah, the bishops are better than knights.